Do not question my judgment. I thought it was important that the Prime Minister tells this House first rather than somewhere else. So please, this is very important to me and very important to the House. I take it seriously, so I don't need any more side comments.
Well, gather round, dear viewers, because today we've got an absolute corker for you, straight from the House of Commons, that majestic green bench theatre of dreams and discontent. Yes, we're talking about the day when Sir Keir Starmer tried to navigate the treacherous waters of the China spy scandal, only to be gloriously interrupted by the Speaker himself. It's a tale of espionage, heckling and parliamentary headmastering that frankly deserves popcorn. So make yourself a cuppa, sit back and prepare for the most British political pantomime you've never asked for, but absolutely need. Before we show you the video footage, I'd like to ask you a small favour. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now back to the video.
I update the House on the China spy case. I'm deeply disappointed by the outcome. We wanted to see prosecutions. Mr. Speaker, I know just how seriously, rightly, that you take these matters. National security will always be the first priority of this government, and we will always defend against espionage. In recent weeks, there have been baseless accusations put about by the party opposite. Let me set out the facts. The relevant period was when these offences took place. That was under the Conservative government between the years of 2021 and 2023. This period was bookended by the integrated review of 2021, the beginning of the period, and the refresh of that review in 2023, setting out their policy. These statements of government policy were very carefully worded to not describe China as an enemy. Instead.
Sorry, Mr. Stewart. Somebody who is on the Speaker's panel, I've told once before, should know better. Do not question my judgment. I thought it was important that the Prime Minister tells this House first rather than somewhere else. So please, this is very important to me and very important to the House. I take it seriously, so I don't need any more side comments.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The review of 21 and the refresh of 23 were very carefully worded to not describe China as an enemy. Instead, they stated increased national security protections where China poses a threat, and that the then government would engage with China to leave room open for constructive and predictable relations. The Deputy National Security Advisor, Matt Collins, set out the then government's position in a substantive witness statement in 2023, which was subsequently supplemented by 2 further short statements. The Cabinet Secretary assures me that the DSNA faithfully set out the policy of the then Tory government. I know firsthand that the DSNA is a civil servant of the utmost integrity, and those opposite who worked with him, I'm sure, would agree with that assessment. Under this government, no minister or special advisor played any role in the provision of evidence. I can't say what the position was of the previous government in relation to the involvement of ministers or special advisors. If the Leader of the Opposition knows the answer to that question, and I suspect that she does, I invite her to update the House. Last night, the Crown Prosecution Service clarified that, in their view, the decision whether to publish the witness statements of the DSNA is for the government. I have therefore carefully considered this question this morning, and after legal advice, I have decided to publish the witness statements. Given the information contained, we will conduct a short process, but I want to make clear I intend to publish the witness statements in full. Let me say this, to be clear. Had the Conservatives been quicker in updating our legislation, a review that started in 2015, these individuals could have been prosecuted and we would not be where we are now.
Now picture it. The chamber is packed. The MPs are fidgeting, as they usually are, some adjusting their ties, others mentally preparing their very serious faces for the cameras. Keir Starmer, the leader of the opposition, rises with the solemnity of a man about to reveal something huge, like the secret recipe to a proper Sunday roast. The room hushes. Well, it tries to. There's always that one backbencher who thinks he's at a football match and not the seat of British democracy. Starmer opens with the gravity of a man who's just found out someone's been peeking through the nation's sock drawer. May I update the House on the China spy case? He says, like a professor beginning a lecture on espionage and other awkward conversations at PMQs. And just as everyone leans in, expecting some James Bond-level revelations, bang, enter the hecklers. Oh yes, the Tory benches begin to mutter, natter, and generally behave like year nines at the back of a classroom. You can almost hear someone in the distance unwrapping a packet of crisps with the subtlety of a chainsaw. And then the moment the speaker rises, his expression, a mix between your nan after someone walked mud through the lounge and a head teacher who's caught someone doodling during assembly. Someone who is on the speaker's panel, I've told once before, should know better, he barks with the stern finality of someone who has absolutely had it. And honestly, iconic. It's not every day the speaker halts a spy scandal speech to dish out a verbal slippering, but oh, when he does, it's prime telly. And to the hecklers, he adds no uncertain terms. Do not question my judgment. That's parliamentary speak for one more peep and you're getting detention. We pause. The chamber actually listens. It's a small miracle, really. And then we're back in action. Starmer, ever the professional, picks up the thread like nothing happened, though you can tell just a smidge. He's got that thanks for that, mate glint in his eye. He dives into the timeline like a detective at a crime scene. Between 2021 and 2023, he begins, and immediately you can feel the finger-pointing tension. You could slice it with a butter knife. Turns out this wasn't a Labour-era hiccup. Oh no, these were Conservative years. The Tories were steering the ship during this whole dodgy debacle. But instead of shrieking, Starmer goes full clinical mode. Think surgeon with words. The review of 2021, he says, and its 2023 refresh were both, brace yourself, carefully worded. That's political code for we wrote it like a horoscope so no one could be blamed. Instead of calling China an enemy outright, which, let's face it, would be like poking a bear with a rolled up copy of the Times, they kept things vague. Starmer explains they positioned it as essentially, let's not use the E word, but maybe sort of prepare for trouble. Just in case. It's peak diplomatic ambiguity. It's like saying, my neighbour isn't a villain, but I have installed 6 locks and a tripwire just in case he fancies my gnome collection. Starmer goes on to mention a civil servant, Matt Collins, the Deputy National Security Advisor, a man described with glowing terms, utmost integrity. Honestly, in the world of politics, that's the equivalent of calling someone a unicorn. This bloke apparently gave a witness statement in 2023 and then 2 more because, why not? 3rd time's the charm. And here's where things get juicy. Starmer declares, with the calm drama of someone placing the final puzzle piece, that under this government, no ministers or special advisers played any role in the evidence. Zilch. Nada. Not a sausage. He can't say the same for the previous government, though. Insert pointed eyebrow raise. At this point, it feels like he's hosting a murder mystery dinner. If the leader of the opposition knows the answer, he quips, gesturing to a very silent corner, perhaps she can enlighten the House. It's less House of Commons and more Cluedo. Was it the minister in the library with the red box? Then, just when you think it's wrapping up, he pulls another rabbit out of the procedural hat. The Crown Prosecution Service? Those legal sages have confirmed it's up to the government whether the witness statements get published. Starmer, ever the responsible adult in the room, announces he's taken legal advice that morning. That morning. As in, he read the file over his toast and marmalade, probably. He's publishing the witness statements in full, not half. Not redacted like a classified MI5 file. Full, he's opening the whole tin of biscuits and letting everyone have a peek. But wait, he's not done. Just when you think he's holstered his policy pistol, he fires off one last shot across the aisle. If only the Conservatives had been quicker, he laments, in updating the legislation that began all the way back in 2015, then maybe, just maybe, this whole spy in Westminster melodrama could have been prevented. Oh, the pathos, the missed opportunities, the legislative delays. It's at this point the Commons goes quiet. Not because they're stunned necessarily, but probably because someone finally confiscated the crisps. And so ends this unlikely saga of parliamentary procedure, verbal fencing, and a speaker who takes absolutely no nonsense. It had all the key ingredients of a British drama: stern faces, polite jabs, civil servants with job titles longer than the queue for the loo at Glastonbury, and the kind of stern telling off that would make even the most rebellious MP reconsider their life choices. And you see, what we witnessed wasn't just politics. It was theatre. It was Shakespeare meets the thick of it, with a sprinkle of Line of Duty. And the moral of the story, don't heckle when the speaker's in town, especially not when Starmer's mid-sentence trying to detangle an international espionage headache that's about as clear as a foggy day in Westminster. And if you're going to write your policy on China, maybe try not to make it sound like a vague horoscope. Just a tip. So next time you hear someone say Parliament's boring, show them this video and then watch their jaw hit the floor somewhere between "do not question my judgment" and "we will conduct a short process." That's all from today's political soap opera. Tune in next time where we may or may not find out whether someone finally updated that 2015 legislation or if another MP gets shooshed so hard their ancestors felt it. Remember to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell if you enjoy political chaos wrapped in British politeness. Until then, stay informed, stay amused, and for heaven's sake, don't unwrap snacks during a national security briefing. Ta-ra for now.